Hi Mark, pleased to meet you.
How you doing, John?
Thank you very much for coming today, and I think you're going to talk about the Hound House Kennel. First, I'd like to ask you, Mark, why you kind of actually came up with the idea, and how come your background, and how come you invented this fantastic product?
I've got a trade in auto and marine upholstery, motor trimming, and 20 years ago my own dog needed a place to sleep. After looking around at all the kennels that were available on the market, I couldn't find anything that was not only hygienic for my dog but comfortable as well. So with the background that I have, I sat down and drafted up a few little sketches, and we come up with the Hound House dog kennel fairly quickly. And since then I've had family and friends asking. We went and painted it and trademarked the product, and then we went down the lines of checking out all the pet stores, and from there on it just mushroomed into the product that it is today.
Very good. And was temperature quite an issue? Obviously you're from Australia, so was temperature quite a main concern of yours?
Oh, definitely. The one thing about the marine grade canvas is it's got a thermal quality about it. So during the summer months when it gets quite hot in Australia, and I have no doubt it gets quite warm here as well, it does tend to breathe and allow ventilation through the product. And then during the winter or the rain, the cotton canvas, it tightens up to form a waterproof barrier. So and a thermal barrier that withholds the warmth inside of it.
It's very interesting. Does the canvas actually, is it easy to kind of clean, and could you explain a bit more about that side of it, you know, as opposed to say a wooden kennel, you know, what would be the advantages of this over a wooden kennel, for instance?
Good question. 400 years ago in this country, in the UK, they put together this material, which is a wax product. It's a wax canvas, cotton canvas. The reason being is they needed something that would not only breathe and you could wear as a coat, so that you needed to be able to run around the fields doing what you had to do without sweating underneath it. The material is a marine grade, so it's quite strong and quite hardy. It has to be to withstand, you know, the rigorous lifespan of a dog. The first one that I put together outlasted my dog. It's still in the rafters with a little collar and lead there as a bit of a shrine, to represent basically that I did love my dog very much, and I did anything I could to provide him with a healthy life.
And how long do you think the lifespan of one of these kennels would be? Because they're obviously very, very light, you know, I mean, how long do you think this is going to last?
Well, the one I put together for my dog, that lasted him in it for over 12 years. I would suggest that a lot of them would be hand-me-downs or resaleable articles after the dog's, expired, if that's the right word. So the lifetime of a dog is not a problem. So if you were to buy this product, you would expect him to sleep in it all day, every day for the rest of his life.
Okay, yeah. And chewing and things like that, would that be?
As most things, it is prone to be chewed. Not prone, that's probably the wrong one. As most things, it can be chewed, but the waterproofing in the product is very distasteful, and we also recommend chew toys, and you always teach a dog what it can chew, not what it can't, and you'll find your dog will be quite happy to chew what you want him to chew, rather than chewing your children or your shoes or your clothes on the line.
Fine. And if you could just talk about would it be more the cleanliness of the kennel? Would it be far, better than wood, worse than wood? How would it fare regarding cleanliness, ease to clean, that kind of situation?
The material itself is easily cleanable using a banister brush and a bit of water, maybe a little bit of soap if you need to, and you just give it a light brush and hose it off. The kennel will dry in a couple of minutes, so it doesn't take very long for it to dry. You can put it back where you got it. As far as the mat is made out of the same material, so it's easily cleaned as well. It's got a couple of ties in there.
This fully comes out the mat? You can just gently take it out?
You can take it out to clean it. We always recommend that you protect the floor because it's the most important part of the kennel. That floor is a fiberglass mesh floor, so it is very hardy and very strong. You'll find it won't sag, and one of the main reasons we've used this mesh is that your fleas won't breed in the product. So this kennel will be flea free.
Oh, very good. And how sturdy would this kennel be, and how much weight would you know I could expect to put in it? Obviously, I mean, I'm limited. I see there's 4 sizes of kennel, so there's going to take for various sizes of dog. But how much kind of weight and how durable, you know, how strong will it be?
We've used a 20mm Zig-plated steel on the product, which allows each kennel to hold 85 kilos without a problem. Starting with the big one, which is suitable for Rottweilers, German Shepherds, smaller Great Danes, the bigger dogs in the dog fraternity, down to the small ones, which is not only suitable for your toy breeds but cats as well.
Okay, yeah, that's good. And so weight-wise, not a problem at all, you know.
No, 85. I'm over 90 kilos, and I can get in there and have a bounce around without a problem at all. But we've toned that down a little bit because we don't recommend that. You know, any dog over 85 kilos is getting just a little bit large to be able to go in any one of our kennels.
Okay, that's right. And if I was going, you know, the main advantages of this kennel as opposed to a wooden one, I suppose, is that it's transportability. If I was going away for the weekend or we're going to visit friends or things, could you explain how easy it is to collapse or take it with me in my car, or what I would do with it?
The extra large weighs 9 kilos, down to the small here, which is 4 kilos. And to transport it is just a matter of taking out that centre bar, laying it flat, putting it in the calico bag provided, and you can take it camping, travelling,
I mean,
anywhere you want to go.
Very, very easy, isn't it?
Yes.
And when you kind of arrive at your destination, how long would it take to re-put back?
Only a couple of seconds. You put the spigot in the back, in the bar goes in the back hole, and then you just move it from one side of the front frame to the centre, and your kennel's up, ready to use.
Lovely. And may I also ask you, while it's been down like that, if I actually bought a kennel like this, how would it arrive to me, and what would I have to do to assemble it?
Alright, the kennel comes in a full colour box. On the back of the box we've got a set of instructions which is only 5 set long. It's quite easy to put together. We ask you to pull out the frame from the corner of the kennels and clip it onto the base. It doesn't take very long at all, and we have all kinds of videos and movies on the website to show you exactly what you need to do. And if you've got any problems, we've got tips and hints on the website too, and we're always a phone call away.
Lovely. And just how long, you know, if I was receiving it in a box, how long would it be till I've actually erected my kennel and was ready to put my pet in?
I would suggest, depending on where you are in the country, 2 to 4 days.
Okay. And when I've actually, you slightly misunderstood the question. When I actually received my kennel,
when you receive the kennel,
how long would it be to actually just put together? I'm just asked for a time it would take to put together. And
I can do it in less than half a minute. I would imagine that somebody that's doing it for the first time, and you only ever have to do it once, would probably take around about the 4 to 5 minute mark.
Oh, it's perfect, isn't it? So he'd be at home straight away in there.
Yes, definitely.
And when you travel with pets, there's probably an advantage that they've still got their own home with them. You know, when you go to stay with friends or family, or
definitely. It's all about a comfort zone for the animal, whether it be a dog, cat, guinea pig, whatever it is. They all like to get in their own little comfort zone. The Hound House provides that, and you'll find thunderstorms, fireworks. The dog would prefer to go and hide in his kennel and run off down the street.
And also the actual, when you stay with friends, you know, inside, outside the house, does it make any difference? What were your recommendations?
No, with the Hound House, it is an outdoor kennel, and it can survive anywhere you'd like to put it. We would recommend that you use your own initiative in working out where the kennel should sit. If you put a kennel like any kennel in the back corner of the yard, the dog will not use it because the dog only wants to be as close as he can to you. So we would recommend beside the back door, beside the window that you're most prevalent to, or wherever the dog sits while he waits for you is where you should put your kennel.
That's good advice, thank you. And what about really low temperatures? I mean, you know, if I left this kennel outside and put my dog in it, in England we get some quite frosty nights and things. What would happen then? What's your advice be? Would I have to bring the dog in the house, the kennel in the house? What could happen?
No, the kennel should be fine, retaining its own warmth through the thermal qualities of the canvas, but we do have a heat mat that is available for the kennel. The Hound House heat mat has a pad in one corner of the kennel that's thermostated to 34 degrees, so it won't overheat any of the animals that are using it, the puppies or the cats. These mats can also be used on any other bedding product made from the same waterproof canvas, 12 volt from the wall, so it's very economical to use.
And safe also.
And yeah, very safe.
Okay. Well, that's great. And what about high temperatures? I mean, I have a friend in Dubai and he tells me how hot it is there. Would it still work in extreme high temperatures, never mind low temperatures like in England?
Out of all the kennels you could possibly get on the market, this kennel would be, other than air conditioning, this kennel would be the coolest kennel or coolest product that you could possibly use for your dog in any temperature. So during the summer, being the fact that the weave opens up, it expels all the heat, and again during the winter it retains all the warmth inside the kennel.
That's great. And when you put this heat mat in, would you put it on top of this mat, below this mat, or where would you put it? Does it matter, or even?
It doesn't matter. You'd have to use your own initiative on how cold it was. I would suggest if it was the middle of winter, you'd have it with the heat pad to the top and on top of the mat inside of it. If it was just a spring or at a time when it's not so cold, you could turn it over and have the heat pad on the bottom and just the mat to the top. Then if it was summer, well, you could disconnect that unit and then put it in underneath the already existing mat just to give the dog a little bit more comfort, and it makes for good storage.
And even though that's got electrics in, I could still swill it off with a hose pipe, brush it with a broom?
Yep, there's not an issue with it. It is a waterproof article. We don't recommend that you wash any of our products. We recommend that you just brush them off with a bit of water and maybe a tiny bit of soap. If you do notice the kennel, if you've brushed it too hard and you've brushed the waterproofing out of it, you can go down to any hardware store and pick up some reproofing product from Hardware Camping or...
Yeah, so a bit like a tent, really. After a few years, you often waterproof clothing or tents with the same kind.
A very good quality tent, yes.
Yeah. Well, that's great. Well, thank you very much indeed for showing us.
Thank you, John,
That's
for your
great.
time.
And good luck with your sales.